Some people live to argue. Some people live to provoke. Some people try to control you with their words, hoping to steal your calm, your confidence, your peace. But here's the truth. No one has power over you unless you give it to them. Stoicism teaches us that your mind is your fortress, your emotions are your tools, not your masters, and your words can either defend your peace or destroy it. Imagine this. Someone insults you, tries to belittle you, or challenges you for no reason at all. Do you react with anger, with revenge, with frustration, or do you respond with clarity, calm, and intelligence, so sharp it shuts them up without you raising your voice? That's what you're about to learn. In the next few minutes, you'll discover 20 smart, stoic comebacks, lines so subtle, so precise they end arguments, protect your energy, and preserve your dignity. These aren't just comebacks, they're tools of power. They're lessons in restraint. They're the kind of responses that make people realize you are untouchable, because the goal isn't to humiliate, the goal isn't to dominate, the goal is simple: stay calm, stay in control, and never let anyone steal your inner peace. And now, let's begin. Before we dive in, I want to share something personal. I get a lot of messages from people who feel surrounded by fake friends, constant drama, or emotional chaos, and they just want a place to be real. That's why I created a Patreon community, a private space where you can open up, share what you're going through, and get my personal insights. It's also where you can request specific video topics if there's something you're struggling with that you want me to break down here on the channel. If you're serious about growth, peace, and self-awareness, you'll fit right in. The link is below. Now, let's get into it. Here are things fake people always say, and the hidden truth behind each one. 1. This conversation is no longer productive. Sometimes the most powerful comeback isn't clever, witty, or sharp. It's final. When someone is arguing, provoking, or trying to manipulate you, many people feel the need to respond. They think they must fight, explain, or justify themselves. They think staying silent is weakness. Stoicism teaches us otherwise. The strongest response is often the one that ends the conversation entirely. It doesn't mean you're backing down. It doesn't mean you're afraid. It means you've recognized the futility of arguing with someone who is unreasonable, emotional, or toxic. Think about it. How many times have you tried to reason with someone who just wouldn't listen? How many times have you found yourself repeating the same points while they twist your words or respond with insults? You leave drained, frustrated, and worse, sometimes they feel victorious just because you engaged. By calmly saying, "This conversation is no longer productive," you take back control, you stop the cycle, you protect your energy, you set a boundary without anger. Here's where the controversy comes in. Some people will see this as arrogant, dismissive, or even cowardly. They believe that shutting down a discussion is giving up or not standing up for yourself. Society often praises those who fight, who argue loudly, who dominate debates. But Stoicism flips this logic on its head. True strength is knowing when to walk away. Let's put this into a real-life example. Imagine a workplace scenario. You're in a team meeting and one of your colleagues keeps interrupting you, dismissing your ideas and attacking your perspective. You've tried explaining, giving facts, and keeping your tone calm, but they continue to argue, not with reason, but with ego. At this point, a typical reaction would be to fight back, escalate, or let frustration take over. But here's the Stoic move. You look at them calmly and say, "This conversation is no longer productive," and you leave the discussion or redirect the meeting. Instantly, you've done three things. One, protected your mental space. You don't let their emotional chaos infect you. Expose the futility of their behavior. Their aggression loses meaning because you refuse to participate in the fight. shifted the power dynamic. They are left talking to the air while you stay composed, unaffected, and in control. Now let's make it even more controversial. In today's culture, where people are obsessed with fighting for your rights and never letting anyone win, choosing to disengage is often criticized. Many will say, "You should have spoken up. You should have defended yourself." But here's the truth. Engaging with irrationality is never a victory. Stoicism isn't about appeasing others or winning their approval. It's about maintaining your own clarity, focus, and dignity. Saying, "This conversation is no longer productive," is not cowardice, it's wisdom. It's refusing to waste energy on something that can never yield results. You're essentially telling the world, "I control my time, I control my mind, I control my peace. I will not be dragged into chaos for your amusement." And that is a comeback that destroys ego without shouting, mocking, or hurting anyone. It's subtle, stoic, and devastatingly effective. Remember, the people who criticize you for walking away are often the ones who would have wasted hours arguing themselves into exhaustion. By saying this one line, you've already won, because you're choosing reason over emotion, peace over conflict, and power over pride. So the next time someone tries to provoke you, insult you, or argue endlessly, consider this your stoic weapon. This conversation is no longer productive. It's simple, it's calm, it's final, and in a world addicted to chaos, it is more powerful than any shouting match, clever insult, or viral comeback could ever be. 2. Let's talk when you're ready to be respectful. There's a moment in every conversation when you realize the other person isn't just wrong, they're being deliberately disrespectful. They interrupt, belittle, insult, or manipulate. And yet society often tells us, always respond, always explain, always stand up for yourself. Stoicism disagrees. The Stoic mindset understands a simple truth. Not every battle deserves your attention. Not every argument deserves engagement. Not every person deserves your energy. Saying, "Or let's talk when you're ready to be respectful," does something incredible. It sets a boundary. It refuses to tolerate disrespect. It forces the other person to confront their behavior. And most importantly, it protects your peace. Now here's where it becomes controversial. In our culture, people are often taught that walking away from conflict is weakness, that refusing to engage with disrespect is cowardice, and that being politically correct or passive is a failure of character. Many will argue, you should have called them out, you should have fought back, but Stoicism challenges that, because responding to disrespect with anger or insult only escalates the situation. It gives power to someone who thrives on chaos, and that is exactly what they want. Here's an example. Imagine a friend or even a co-worker who constantly undermines you. During a discussion, they roll their eyes at your ideas, make sarcastic comments, or talk over you. A reactive person might snap back, matching their disrespect with equal venom. They might try to shut them down in the moment. A Stoic responds differently. You calmly look at them and say, "Let's talk when you're ready to be respectful." Notice what happens. You take control of the interaction. You are no longer trapped in their emotional chaos. You force them to self-reflect. They realize that their behavior is unacceptable if they want to continue the conversation. You elevate the standard of communication. You show that you will not stoop to insults or disrespect, and that only reasoned civil discussion is allowed. Controversy arises because this line is unapologetically confrontational while remaining calm. Some will say it's condescending or elitist, that you're telling someone they need to meet your standards before you talk to them. But that's precisely the point. Respect is not optional, it is earned. And your mind, your peace, and your dignity are non-negotiable. In today's world, where arguments often devolve into shouting matches, trolling, or personal attacks online, this comeback is revolutionary. It doesn't humiliate anyone outright, but it exposes their immaturity and lack of self-control. The subtle sting is devastating. The person realizes that their behavior is unacceptable, yet there's nothing they can do to manipulate or provoke you in response. And here's another layer of controversy. Some might argue that using this line is passive-aggressive, or that it's better to address the disrespect directly with reasoned argument. But think about it stoically. Arguing with someone who is disrespectful rarely works. Rational points are ignored, twisted, or weaponized. By refusing to engage until respect is restored, you force the conversation onto their terms that are fair, reasonable, and non-toxic. This line also demonstrates an advanced Stoic principle. You cannot control the behavior of others, but you can control your response. You refuse to give power to their immaturity. You refuse to let their lack of self-discipline infect your mind. And in doing so, you create a space where calm, logic, and dignity prevail. Finally, let's consider the psychological impact. Someone used to provoking people for a reaction will suddenly be powerless. They are left with a choice: escalate their disrespect and look foolish, or reflect and adjust their behavior. Either way, you win without ever raising your voice or engaging in petty conflict. So next time someone tries to dominate the conversation with insults, sarcasm, or disrespect, remember, let's talk when you're ready to be respectful. It's calm, it's stoic, it's controversial, and it's far more powerful than any angry comeback, sarcastic retort, or viral clapback could ever be. Because in the end, the strongest person in any room is the one who refuses to be disrespected, yet never stoops to disrespect themselves. Respect is earned, not demanded. Respect is one of the most misunderstood concepts in modern society. Many people assume it can be commanded, forced, or expected simply because of their position, age, or title. Parents demand it, managers demand it, teachers, celebrities, even politicians demand it. But Stoicism teaches a very different truth. Respect is never given automatically. It is earned through action, character, and integrity. Saying this isn't just a line, it's a statement of principle. It's a boundary. It's a silent but powerful assertion of your self-worth and your refusal to allow entitlement or ego to dictate your behavior. Now let's get controversial. Many people will see this as arrogance. They will say, "How dare you deny someone respect?" Or, "Everyone deserves basic respect at least." And yes, they're right, to a point. Basic human courtesy should exist, but Stoicism goes deeper. Stoics differentiate basic civility from true respect. True respect is reserved for those whose actions, discipline, and integrity demonstrate that they are worthy of it. Here's why this line is so powerful. When someone tries to demand your respect, they are often revealing insecurity, entitlement, or an inflated ego. They expect you to bow to their demands, agree with them blindly, or tolerate behavior that undermines your peace. By calmly stating, "Respect is earned, not demanded," you immediately flip the dynamic. You assert that your energy, attention, and esteem are not commodities to be commanded. They are privileges to be granted. Consider this example. Imagine a workplace scenario. A manager berates you in front of the team, claiming authority and demanding obedience. A reactive employee might respond with resentment, sarcasm, or even a confrontation that escalates tension. But a Stoic takes a different path. You remain calm, composed, and state quietly, "Respect is earned, not demanded." Nothing else needs to be said. Your words carry weight because they are grounded in truth and integrity. You've made it clear that authority alone doesn't guarantee respect. It must be justified by action. The controversy is layered. In many cultures, this can be seen as insubordination. People might accuse you of being disrespectful or not knowing your place. But here's the Stoic truth. Those who respect power without morality are enslaved to it. Those who demand respect without earning it reveal weakness, not strength. Here's the deeper psychological layer. When you refuse to give automatic respect, two things happen. The ego-driven person is exposed. They wanted blind compliance, and now everyone sees their entitlement. Your own confidence is elevated. You no longer rely on validation from people who don't deserve it. You define your self-worth internally, not externally. This principle also applies to personal relationships. Friends, romantic partners, family members, anyone who treats you poorly or tries to manipulate you expects respect as a given. By asserting that respect must be earned, you instantly separate yourself from toxic patterns. Controversially, some will say this attitude is too harsh or unforgiving. They will argue that everyone deserves respect by default. Stoicism responds, you respect the humanity in others, but you do not grant them influence over your peace, your dignity, or your choices simply because they exist. And let's not forget the power dynamics online. Social media is full of people demanding respect, attention, or loyalty without earning it. Stoicism gives you the ultimate comeback. You don't give it. You silently observe, evaluate, and respond only when actions prove that respect is merited. Finally, the beauty of this line is its subtle yet devastating impact. It doesn't insult, it doesn't provoke, it simply exposes weakness while reinforcing your strength. People who demand respect will often fume, realizing they cannot control your mind or coerce your esteem, and that realization alone is enough to shift power to your side. So the next time someone expects respect just because they ask for it, just because they hold a title, or just because they think they deserve it, calmly remind yourself and them, respect is earned, not demanded. It's stoic, it's firm, it's controversial, and it's far more powerful than yelling, arguing, or giving in. Because in the end, real respect comes not from position or force, it comes from character, wisdom, and integrity. 4. Let's stay on facts, not feelings. In today's world, feelings dominate conversations more than logic. Social media, workplace debates, family arguments, even friendly discussions are often hijacked by emotion. People shout, argue, or manipulate, using what they feel rather than what is true. Stoicism teaches us a simple principle. Emotions are data, not directives. Facts are the foundation of clarity. Saying, let's stay on facts, not feelings, isn't just a comeback. It's a boundary. It's a declaration that your mind will not be hijacked by someone else's emotional chaos. And it's a subtle but powerful way to shift power from the irrational to the rational. Here's where it gets controversial. Many people today will see this as cold, dismissive, or even unempathetic. They will argue, you can't ignore feelings, they're real. And yes, feelings are real, but the Stoic principle is clear. Feelings are subjective, facts are objective. By focusing on facts, you prevent manipulation, drama, and unnecessary conflict. Consider a real-life example. You're in a business meeting. A colleague passionately argues that a project is failing because of you, citing vague bad energy or feeling like the plan isn't working. They are emotional, loud, and dramatic. Most people might get defensive, matching their energy or trying to validate their feelings, but a Stoic responds differently. You calmly say, let's stay on facts, not feelings. What data do we have to support this claim? Instantly, three things happen. You regain control of the conversation. You shift it from subjective opinion to objective reality. You expose the weakness in their argument. Emotional manipulation can't compete with data. You protect your peace. You refuse to engage with drama, maintaining composure while the other person struggles to respond. Now, the controversy deepens when we consider societal norms. Modern culture often values emotional expression above reason. People are praised for standing up for their feelings or being authentic, even if their behavior is disruptive or irrational. Saying, "Let's stay on facts, not feelings," challenges this worldview. It implies that truth and logic are more important than hurt feelings or ego-driven narratives. Many will perceive this as confrontational, dismissive, or elitist, but Stoicism says it's necessary. Here's another example, this time personal. Imagine an argument with a friend or family member. They claim you don't care or don't understand because your perspective differs. Most people would apologize, over-explain, or try to soothe hurt feelings. But a Stoic comeback cuts through the noise. "Let's stay on facts, not feelings. What exactly did I do to make you feel this way?" By doing this, you demand clarity and accountability, prevent emotional manipulation from dominating the conversation, keep the focus on truth, not drama. Controversially, this line also highlights a modern paradox. Many people confuse emotions with facts. They believe their hurt, frustration, or anger automatically proves their point. Stoicism teaches the opposite. Emotions are indicators, not evidence. Saying this line challenges that deeply ingrained bias. The beauty of this comeback is that it's subtle yet devastating. It doesn't attack, mock, or humiliate. Instead, it forces the other person to either provide proof or look irrational. Emotional tirades lose power when the focus is shifted to objective reality, and when someone realizes they can no longer manipulate the conversation with feelings alone, they often become defensive, exposing ego and immaturity. Finally, this line demonstrates a crucial Stoic principle. You cannot control others' emotions, but you can control the framework of your interactions. By insisting on facts, you remove chaos from the discussion, elevate rationality, and maintain your dignity. So the next time someone tries to dominate a conversation with emotion, anger, or opinion masquerading as truth, respond calmly, firmly, and stoically. Let's stay on facts, not feelings. It's rational, it's boundary setting, it's controversial, and it's a subtle yet powerful way to shut down manipulation, maintain peace, and reclaim control without ever raising your voice. 5. I've already said what I needed to say. Sometimes the most powerful comeback is not a clever line, not a sarcastic retort, and not a sharp insult. It is the simple act of refusing to repeat yourself. Saying, "I've already said what I needed to say," is a statement of control, of discipline, and of self-respect. It is a boundary that tells the world you will not be dragged into unnecessary repetition, manipulation, or argument. Stoicism teaches that words are tools, not weapons to appease someone else's ego. When you keep repeating yourself to someone who refuses to listen, you are wasting energy on chaos, not cultivating virtue or clarity. By stating that you've already said enough, you reclaim that energy and reinforce your mental sovereignty. Now here's where it becomes controversial. In many cultures, refusing to re-explain yourself is interpreted as rude, dismissive, or arrogant. People will say, "You should clarify, you should make them understand." Society often rewards over-explaining, apologizing, and accommodating, even when the other person is unreasonable. But the Stoic path is different. You are not obligated to justify your actions to someone who is unwilling to think, reflect, or listen. Consider a workplace example. You've presented a plan to your team. One colleague keeps interrupting, questioning every detail, and asking you to repeat yourself for the third or fourth time, not because they are confused, but because they enjoy asserting dominance and creating chaos. Most people would try to re-explain, fearing confrontation or appearing incompetent. A Stoic responds differently. "I've already said what I needed to say." This one line achieves three critical things. One, it stops the cycle of unnecessary repetition. Your point has been made. Dragging it further is futile. It exposes the other person's motives. If they continue to challenge you, It's no longer about information, it's about ego or control. It reinforces your authority without aggression. You don't raise your voice, insult them, or escalate. Yet your calm finality carries weight. The controversy is amplified when this approach is applied socially. Friends, family members, even romantic partners may perceive it as cold or dismissive. They might interpret it as, "You're not willing to listen to me," or "You're shutting me down." But Stoicism teaches that your peace is non-negotiable. You cannot allow someone else's unwillingness to reflect or listen to hijack your calm. Repeating yourself endlessly does not educate them, it empowers their manipulation. Here's a more personal example. Imagine a friend or family member who constantly questions your life choices. They ask for explanations you've already given countless times. Their goal isn't clarity, they want to control, guilt, or provoke. By calmly stating, "I've already said what I needed to say," you draw a clear line. You refuse to justify your decisions endlessly. You refuse to engage in their drama, and you preserve your dignity while they are forced to either accept your boundaries or expose their own inability to respect them. This line is controversial because it challenges social expectations. Many people believe politeness requires repetition and accommodation. Stoicism says, politeness does not require self-abandonment. Knowing when to stop talking is as powerful as knowing what to say. It is the difference between a reactive participant and a master of their own mind. There's also a subtle psychological effect here. The moment you refuse to repeat yourself, the other person experiences a loss of control. They are no longer dictating the rhythm of the conversation. The power shifts quietly but irreversibly. This is the Stoic genius of the line. It shuts down argument without shouting, sarcasm, or confrontation. In short, saying, "I've already said what I needed to say," is not arrogance. It is wisdom, self-discipline, and power. It communicates, your words have weight, your energy is valuable, your peace is non-negotiable. And for anyone trying to provoke, manipulate, or exhaust you, there is no sharper comeback. It is stoic, firm, and devastatingly effective because you don't argue with chaos, you rise above it. 6. Have a good day. Sometimes the most powerful comeback is not a clever insult, not a sarcastic jab, and not a witty remark. Sometimes it's as simple and as devastating as saying, "Have a good day." At first glance, it seems polite, almost harmless, a cliché even. But Stoicism teaches a deeper truth. Power lies in calm composure, in detachment, in refusing to be drawn into chaos. When someone tries to provoke you, insult you, or manipulate you, most people feel obligated to respond. They argue, they defend themselves, they escalate, they allow another person's ego to dictate their energy and emotions. But a Stoic does something different. They refuse to play the game. They rise above, and that's exactly what makes the simple phrase, "Have a good day," so powerful. Here's where it becomes controversial. Many will see this as passive-aggressive, cold, or dismissive. Some might argue, you're just brushing off the person, you're not confronting the problem. Society praises confrontation, verbal sparring, and dramatic responses. Stoicism challenges that entirely. You don't have to fight to win, you win by refusing to fight at all. Consider a real-world example. You're at work and a colleague berates you in front of the team, criticizes your work unfairly, or tries to provoke a reaction. Most people would respond defensively, argue, or try to justify themselves. But a Stoic looks the person in the eye and calmly says, "Have a good day." And that's it. 3 things happen instantly. Raw composure becomes a mirror for their chaos. They are left angry, frustrated, or confused, while you remain calm. Their emotional energy cannot touch you. You assert control without aggression. By refusing to escalate, you demonstrate that you are the master of your mind, your mood, and your responses. You leave them exposed. People who thrive on provoking others lose power when the other person refuses to play their game. Now let's make it personal. Imagine a family member or friend repeatedly attacks your choices, your career, your life decisions, or your personality. They demand a reaction. Most people would feel pressured to defend themselves, argue, or explain. A Stoic response flips the dynamic entirely. By calmly saying, "Have a good day," you refuse to feed their drama, while simultaneously showing your inner strength and indifference to their manipulation. The controversy deepens further when applied in social or professional life. Many consider this phrase too polite to be effective, too weak to shut anyone down. But the truth is, its subtlety is its strength. It's not about shutting someone up with words, it's about shutting down their ability to control you emotionally. Here's another example. You're online. A troll attacks you, insults you, or tries to bait you into an argument. Most people would respond, engage, or defend themselves. But a Stoic types without emotion or delay, "Have a good day." The troll's weapon, provocation, fails completely. Their goal was emotional manipulation, attention, or conflict. By calmly deflecting, you've neutralized them with silence wrapped in civility. The genius of this line is its controversial simplicity. People expect a fight. People expect emotion. People expect you to meet hostility with hostility. By choosing calm politeness instead, you disrupt expectations, preserve peace, and assert dominance without aggression. In a way, this phrase is the ultimate Stoic comeback because it demonstrates emotional intelligence at its highest level. You're not responding to chaos with chaos. You're not validating ego-driven attacks. You're not engaging in unnecessary arguments. You're simply holding your ground, protecting your mind, and maintaining your dignity. And here's the final layer. The person on the receiving end may feel frustrated, powerless, or even humiliated, not because of what you said, but because your calm exposes the futility of their aggression. That is the quiet, devastating power of "have a good day." So next time someone tries to provoke you, insult you, or steal your energy, remember, have a good day. It's polite, it's Stoic, it's controversial, it's subtle, it's powerful, and it shuts down conflict without a single raised voice. Because in the end, true strength is never reactive, true power is never emotional, true dominance is calm, deliberate, and untouchable. 7. Thanks for your opinion. On the surface, this line seems polite, even neutral, a simple acknowledgement of what someone said. But in reality, it is one of the most Stoic, subtle, and devastating comebacks you can deploy. When someone attacks you, criticizes you, or tries to manipulate you with their words, most people feel compelled to respond. They argue, justify themselves, or escalate the situation. They give their energy to someone who may not deserve it. Stoicism teaches a different path. Acknowledge without validating, respond without reacting, recognize without engaging in their chaos. That's exactly what "thanks for your opinion" does. It communicates, "I hear you, I recognize your perspective, I do not give it power over me." This line is deceptively simple, but here's where it gets controversial. In modern culture, many people see politeness as agreement. They will interpret your thanks as validation, when in fact it is strategic, calm, and unshakably neutral. Others will say it's passive-aggressive or dismissive. That's the point. It stops the argument without lowering your standards. You neither fight nor appease. You simply exist above the conflict. Let's consider a real-life example. Imagine a co-worker constantly criticizes your approach to a project. They insist that their method is better, belittle your ideas, or even attempt to undermine your authority in front of the team. Most people would feel pressure to defend themselves, provide justification, or engage in heated debate. A Stoic responds calmly. Thanks for your opinion. That's it. No additional words, no emotion, no justification. 3 things happen instantly. It disarms the aggressor. They are expecting a fight, but instead, you respond with acknowledgement and neutrality. Their attempts at manipulation fail. It shifts power to you. By refusing to react emotionally, you assert control over the interaction. They may try to escalate, but your calm makes escalation meaningless. It protects your energy. Arguments are draining. By choosing not to engage, you preserve your mental space and focus on what truly matters. Here's another, more personal example. Imagine a family member constantly giving unsolicited advice on your life choices, your career, finances, or personal relationships. They might say, "You're doing it all wrong. Let me explain why." Most people would argue, over-explain, or defend their decisions. But a Stoic calmly says, "Thanks for your opinion. Nothing more. No justification, no emotion. You've acknowledged their perspective without giving it influence over your mind or your decisions." Their attempt at control is neutralized in a single line. The controversy deepens when applied in social or professional contexts. Some will argue that this approach is cold, indifferent, or dismissive. Others will say it's passive-aggressive. But the Stoic perspective is different. The line is not about insulting or humiliating someone. It's about refusing to participate in chaos, ego, or unnecessary conflict. It's about protecting your mind while exposing the futility of their argument. Psychologically, this phrase is powerful because it forces the other person to confront the fact that their words have no effect on you. They may feel frustrated, angry, or powerless, but that is their problem, not yours. You remain calm, composed, and untouchable. Online, this phrase works wonders as well. Trolls, critics, and haters thrive on engagement. They want an emotional reaction, an argument, or attention. By simply responding, "Thanks for your opinion," you completely neutralize their attempts at provocation. They are left with nothing to manipulate, and you maintain complete control over your emotional state. Finally, the beauty of this comeback lies in its simplicity, calm, and subtle authority. It is polite, strategic, and controversial all at once. It doesn't attack, it doesn't escalate, yet it shuts down manipulation, exposes ego, and preserves your dignity. So the next time someone tries to provoke you, criticize you unnecessarily, or manipulate you with their words, remember, thanks for your opinion. It's calm, it's stoic, it's controversial, and it's far more powerful than any argument, retort, or shout could ever be, because true power lies in acknowledging without surrendering, listening without reacting, and existing above the noise of chaos. 8. Believe what you want. My life won't change. Some people live to judge, criticize, or impose their opinions on others. They try to control how you feel, what you do, or how you see yourself. Their words are often wrapped in ego, malice, or insecurity. Most people feel compelled to respond. They argue, explain, or defend themselves. But the Stoic knows a better path: indifference to the uninformed judgments of others. That's why the line, "Believe what you want, my life won't change," is one of the most powerful Stoic comebacks you can use. It's deceptively simple, but here's why it works. It communicates without aggression that their opinion is irrelevant to your actions, peace, and sense of self. It sets a boundary that is impossible to argue with. By saying this, you are essentially telling someone, "Your judgment is yours. I do not grant it power over me." Now, Here's where it becomes controversial. Many people will see this as arrogant, dismissive, or confrontational. They may say, "You shouldn't disregard what others think. Feedback is important." True, constructive feedback matters, but most judgment from others is not constructive. Often, it is motivated by envy, insecurity, ego, or a desire to control. Stoicism teaches that your life, your choices, and your peace are not contingent on someone else's approval or perception. Consider a real-world example. You've made a decision to change your career, pursue a passion, or relocate. A friend, family member, or colleague immediately criticizes your choice, saying things like, "You're making a huge mistake," or "I don't think that's smart." Most people would feel the urge to justify themselves, provide evidence, or beg for validation. A Stoic responds calmly, "Believe what you want. My life won't change." Instantly, several things happen. You neutralize their judgment. Their criticism has no effect because you refuse to internalize it. You assert control over your life. You make it clear that your choices are yours, not theirs. You expose the futility of their attempts. They realize that their ego-driven need to control or judge you is meaningless. Here's another example, this time in a social setting. Imagine someone spreading rumors or gossip about you online or in your social circle. They expect their words to provoke anger, insecurity, or reaction. By calmly saying, or even thinking to yourself, "Believe what you want. My life won't change," you maintain composure and deny them the emotional response they crave. Their attempt to manipulate your reality fails completely. They have words, but you have freedom from reaction. Controversially, this line is often misunderstood as indifference or arrogance. People think you're being dismissive, you don't care. Stoicism flips this misunderstanding into a strength. It's not about being cold. It's about prioritizing your peace and focus over someone else's misplaced opinions. By refusing to let judgments dictate your life, you are stronger than anyone trying to provoke you. Psychologically, this comeback works because it demonstrates detachment and resilience. People who criticize or judge often do so to assert power, provoke reaction, or feel superior. By responding with calm indifference, you deny them the power to influence your emotions, leaving them frustrated or exposed. Here's one more layer. In today's hyper-opinionated world, social media, workplaces, families, even friendships, people often feel entitled to control your choices or impose their worldview. This line is revolutionary because it reasserts your autonomy. It says, "Your opinions are yours. My life, my choices, and my peace are mine." It is subtle, stoic, and quietly devastating. The person judging you may continue their rant, but their words cannot penetrate your composure. You have already won by refusing to engage emotionally, by refusing to allow them to dictate your reality. So the next time someone tries to control you with judgment, criticism, or unsolicited opinion, remember, believe what you want. My life won't change. It's calm, it's stoic, it's controversial, and it is one of the most powerful comebacks because it not only shuts down manipulation, but protects your dignity, your focus, and your peace of mind. In a world obsessed with validation and approval, this simple line is a quiet declaration of freedom and self-mastery, and nothing can harm you more than someone else's words when you refuse to react. 9. Calm down. I'll wait. Some comebacks are clever, some are witty, some are direct and sharp. But few are as psychologically devastating and stoically powerful as calm down, I'll wait. It's deceptively simple, but its effect is profound. This line communicates total control, unshakable composure, and quiet dominance, all while exposing the other person's lack of self-control. Imagine it. Someone is shouting, furious, or trying to provoke you. Most people feel pressured to match their intensity, defend themselves, or appease the anger. Society tells us, you must react, you must argue, you must validate their feelings. Stoicism teaches the opposite. Never let someone else's emotions dictate your state of mind. By calmly saying, calm down, I'll wait, you do three critical things instantly. You highlight the irrationality of their anger. By remaining calm, you create a mirror that reflects their own loss of control. You force them to confront their behavior. If they continue, it becomes clear that their anger is their problem, not yours. You assert total dominance without aggression. Your silence and composure speak louder than any insult or comeback could. Here's a real-world example. You're in a heated meeting at work. A colleague aggressively criticizes your strategy, raises their voice, and tries to provoke a reaction. Most people would argue back, become defensive, or mirror the hostility. A Stoic, however, leans back and calmly responds, calm down, I'll wait. The effect is immediate. The room notices your calmness. The colleague suddenly realizes that their attempt to control the situation or provoke you is futile. You've regained the psychological upper hand without raising your voice or attacking them. Controversially, many people perceive this line as condescending or arrogant. Some might say, you're belittling them, you're mocking their emotions. But Stoicism flips this perspective. It's not about mockery, it's about revealing the irrationality of uncontrolled anger while maintaining your own peace and authority. It is a boundary, not a weapon. Here's another, more personal example. A friend or partner becomes emotional over a disagreement. They are yelling, frustrated, and attempting to provoke guilt or fear. The reactive response is to match their intensity, defend your position, or try to talk sense into them. But a Stoic response is different. Calm down, I'll wait. This line immediately shifts the power dynamic. The emotional individual now faces the choice: continue escalating and appear unreasonable, or pause and regain composure. You have already won by refusing to let their emotions hijack yours. There's a subtle psychological brilliance here. When someone is emotional, they often believe that intensity grants them power. By calmly pausing and waiting, you remove that power entirely. You are the observer. You are the composed participant. You are untouchable. Their anger loses context, meaning, and impact. This line is also highly effective in online conflicts. Trolls, critics, and provocateurs thrive on emotional reactions. They want anger, defensiveness, or frustration. Responding with calm down, I'll wait, neutralizes their attempts at provocation completely. They are left exposed, powerless, and frustrated, while you maintain full composure and control over your energy. The controversy of this line is its subtlety. Many people misunderstand it as mocking or dismissive, but in truth, it is a Stoic assertion of self-control. It communicates, I am not controlled by your emotions. I will not react to provocation. Your chaos cannot touch me. And that, in the world of Stoicism, is far more powerful than any heated retort or clever insult. Finally, the beauty of this comeback lies in its simplicity and timing. You don't need to explain, argue, or justify yourself. You simply pause, observe, and maintain calm, forcing the other person to confront the consequences of their own behavior. So the next time someone tries to provoke, intimidate, or manipulate you through anger or emotional outburst, remember, calm down, I'll wait. It's calm, it's stoic, it's controversial, and it is one of the most psychologically devastating comebacks because it preserves your peace, exposes their irrationality, and asserts control without aggression, because true power isn't loud, reactive, or emotional. True power is quiet, composed, and untouchable. 10. Do what you think is best. I'm fine either way. Sometimes the most powerful response is not arguing, not persuading, and not proving yourself. It's a calm, collected line that communicates independence, confidence, and stoic detachment. Do what you think is best. I'm fine either way. At first glance, it may seem passive or indifferent. People often interpret this type of response as weak, apathetic, or disengaged. They assume that if you're fine either way, you are letting them control the situation. But this is exactly the misconception that gives the line its power. Stoicism teaches that true strength lies in detachment from outcomes, in maintaining composure regardless of what others choose to do. Here's why this line is so effective. It communicates three critical things simultaneously. You refuse to be manipulated by pressure. Many people try to guilt, shame, or argue to force you into their preferred outcome. By stating that you are fine with any choice, you neutralize their leverage. You assert psychological dominance without aggression. You are calmly in control of your own mind. You are not reactive. You are unshakable. You make them confront their own motivations. Someone pushing you may have assumed that they could provoke worry, guilt, or fear. Your calm indifference exposes their tactics. Consider a real-world example. You're in a work setting. A colleague or superior pushes a project decision, insisting their way is the best and implying that your compliance is necessary. Most people feel pressured, anxious, or defensive. A reactive response might escalate into argument, rationalization, or over-explaining. A Stoic responds calmly, "Do what you think is best. I'm fine either way." The effect is immediate. The person realizes that their attempt to control you has failed. They expected tension, hesitation, or resistance. But you have removed the emotional leverage from the equation. Your composure forces them to acknowledge that you cannot be provoked or manipulated. Here's another example, this time in personal life. Imagine a friend, partner, or family member constantly trying to influence your choices, where you go, what you spend, or even how you live. They may say, "I really think you should do this. It's the right way." Most people would feel compelled to justify themselves, argue, or negotiate. A Stoic simply says, "Do what you think is best. I'm fine either way." This line communicates boundaries and freedom simultaneously. You are making it clear that you respect their autonomy, but you are not surrendering yours. You are independent, untouchable, and unbothered by the outcome. The controversy comes from social expectations. Many people will interpret this line as passive, non-committal, or indifferent, especially in cultures that value assertiveness, debate, or persuasion. They may even accuse you of avoiding responsibility. Stoicism, however, teaches the opposite. You are not avoiding responsibility. You are choosing where your energy is spent. You do not expend it on conflict, coercion, or attempts to control what is beyond your influence. Psychologically, This line is devastating in subtle ways. For manipulators, they are left without leverage. Their attempts to provoke a reaction fail, leaving them frustrated and powerless. For over-controlling people, they see that their insistence cannot dictate your emotions or decisions. For observers, they recognize that your calm detachment signals confidence, self-mastery, and inner peace. Online, this comeback is equally effective. Trolls, critics, and debaters often try to provoke a reaction, force an argument, or elicit fear of judgment. Responding with, "Do what you think is best, I'm fine either way," removes the emotional fuel they seek. You do not engage, argue, or defend. You simply exist above the chaos, and their energy becomes ineffective against your composure. Finally, the beauty of this line is its versatility. It works in professional settings, neutralizes pressure from bosses, colleagues, or clients. Personal relationships, sets boundaries without conflict or drama. Social situations, communicates independence and calm authority. Online interactions, neutralizes trolls and provocateurs with minimal effort. So the next time someone tries to pressure you, manipulate you, or provoke you into tension, remember, do what you think is best. I'm fine either way. It's calm, it's stoic, it's controversial, and it is one of the most subtle, psychologically powerful comebacks, because it demonstrates mastery over your emotions, independence from others' agendas, and strength without aggression. In a world obsessed with validation, control, and reaction, this line is a quiet declaration of freedom, composure, and personal sovereignty. Congratulations! You've now seen 10 comebacks that do far more than just shut someone up. Each line is not about being rude, sarcastic, or reactive. These comebacks are weapons of calm, composure, and self-mastery. They are tools that allow you to protect your peace, assert boundaries, and maintain dignity, even in the face of hostility, criticism, or provocation. What makes these lines truly powerful is that they don't rely on aggression. They don't escalate conflict or try to humiliate. Instead, they work because they demonstrate control, intelligence, and detachment, qualities that are rare in a world obsessed with shouting, reacting, and proving oneself. Remember the principles behind these comebacks. Energy is precious. You don't give it to chaos, drama, or manipulation. Boundaries are essential. You are not obligated to explain, defend, or justify to someone who refuses to respect you. Power lies in calmness. The person who can stay composed while others lose control commands the conversation without raising their voice. Respect and dignity are earned, not demanded. Your peace is non-negotiable. The truth is, not everyone will like your approach. Some will call it cold, arrogant, or indifferent. That's the point. Stoicism isn't about pleasing everyone. It's about pleasing yourself first, mastering your mind, and living according to reason, not emotion. So the next time someone tries to provoke you, manipulate you, or control the conversation, remember these comebacks. Use them wisely, use them calmly, and above all, use them to protect your peace and assert your power silently but unmistakably. Because in the end, the strongest person in any room is not the loudest, the angriest, or the most aggressive. The strongest person is the one who remains calm, unshakable, and untouchable, no matter what anyone else says. If you take one thing from this video, let it be this: master yourself first, and the world will respond to your strength naturally. Thank you for watching, and remember, your calm is your ultimate weapon.